The Charlie Kirk assassination case just dropped a bombshell that changed everything. Tyler Robinson's transgender roommate Lance Twigs has been cooperating with the FBI this entire time, and the text messages they found between them will absolutely shock you. This could destroy the mainstream media's narrative overnight and has political commentators scrambling to control the story. Stick around because what I'm about to reveal about this partnership will completely blow your mind. Guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When I first saw it, I couldn't believe what I was reading. The FBI has text message custody conversations transcripts that paint a completely different picture of what really happened to Charlie Kirk. Listen up, because the most shocking stuff comes at the end of this video, and you're gonna wanna hear every single detail. First, I'll tell you exactly who Lance Twigs is and how this transgender partner became the key witness that led to Tyler Robinson's arrest. Second, you'll see the actual evidence from Discord messages and police documents that show this case is way more complex than anyone thought. Third, I'll explain the custody talks that happened between the officials and Tyler's trans boyfriend. Don't click away, because what I reveal in the last few minutes about the neighbor who saw Tyler and his trans partner together will completely change how you looked at this case forever. For those of you just catching up on this story, let me quickly break down what happened that shocked the entire nation. As we all know, Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old conservative activist and founder of Turning Point USA, was brutally assassinated while speaking at Utah Valley University on September 10th. The shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, fired a single deadly shot from 200 yards away while Kirk was literally answering a question about transgender mass shooters. I have to tell you, the irony of that timing still gives me chills when I think about it. Robinson managed to escape the scene, but was caught just 33 hours later when his own father saw the FBI surveillance photos and realized his son was the killer.
Daily Mail's report has the picture of this person. Lance Twigs is the one identified. Tyler Robinson's roommate tipped off the FBI, and the family refused to deny the transgender motive for Charlie Kirk's assassination.
But here's what absolutely shocked me. Twigs wasn't trying to help Robinson escape. He was the one who cooperated with the officials. Federal agents found that Twigs voluntarily showed police the most incriminating text messages you can imagine. We're talking about messages where Robinson discussed stashing a gun, wrapping the rifle in a towel, and even changing outfits after the shooting. Listen up, because this gets even more interesting. These weren't just random texts. They were detailed conversations about the logistics of the assassination. Allegedly, Twigs had evidence of Robinson talking about the rifle scope, mentioning that the weapon was unique, and even discussing how he needed to retrieve a rifle from drop point. And if you think that's shocking, wait until you hear what happened when the pictures of Twigs started surfacing on TikTok. The entire internet exploded with speculation about whether this transgender partner was the real motive behind Charlie Kirk's murder.
Details emerge about Tyler Robinson's living situation. His partner, who is transgender, is cooperating with the FBI. Story continues below.
Here's where things get really dramatic. And honestly, this part of the story broke my heart. Picture this: Tyler Robinson's father, a hardworking Utah businessman, is watching the news coverage about his son being wanted for assassination. The FBI releases surveillance photos of the suspect, and this man has to look at those images and realize that the person who killed Charlie Kirk is his own child. According to police documents, when Robinson's father confronted him about the photos, Tyler's response was absolutely chilling. He reportedly told his dad, "I'd rather kill myself than turn myself in." Can you imagine being a parent in that situation? Your son has just confessed to political assassination, and he's threatening suicide rather than facing justice. But here's what really gets me. This conservative Utah family, with strong Christian values, still did the right thing. The father immediately called their youth pastor, and together they convinced Tyler to surrender to authorities. Federal investigations show that within just 2 hours of that family confrontation, Robinson was in custody. Guys, we're talking about bullet casings with messages that paint a terrifying picture of Robinson's mindset. According to court documents, one casing was engraved with "Hey fascist, catch," which is clearly an anti-fascist slogan targeting Charlie Kirk's conservative beliefs. But then it gets even weirder.
The accused assassin posing with a .50 caliber machine gun. The chilling photo was taken at a military recruiting event. Tyler Robinson also posed with an anti-tank missile launcher.
Another casing said, "Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao," which leaked audio reveals is a song from the violent video game Far Cry 6 that radical elements have adopted as an anti-fascist anthem. But here's where it gets really crazy. Mixed in with these political messages was a casing that just said, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." Guys, when I first read that, I honestly didn't know what to think. This isn't the work of some sophisticated political assassin. This is someone who's clearly immature but deadly serious about their ideology. Federal investigations also revealed connections to the gaming community through references to Helldivers 2, a shooter game where players fight against fascists to protect democracy. And remember, Lance Twigs was also heavily involved in this gaming world, which raises serious questions about how much influence this transgender partner had on Robinson's radicalization.
Anger is the beginning. Violence doesn't start with anger. It starts where grievance meets justification. And to me, that is the most interesting thing about this, which is you have someone who was radicalized, who was probably looking at social media, was involved in this echo chamber where all these ideas were reinforced.
The Discord messages between them show conversations about these games. And according to insider information from the FBI, both Robinson and Twigs were active in online communities that blur the line between gaming and political activism. Here's where this story gets absolutely insane. And honestly, this shocked me more than anything else. The moment news broke about Lance Twigs being transgender, the entire political landscape exploded into chaos. Conservative media immediately started linking this to a pattern of transgender violence, while left-wing outlets accused them of scapegoating an innocent person who was actually helping the investigation. According to leaked recordings from CNN interviews, Utah Governor Spencer Cox confirmed that Tyler Robinson's trans romantic partner was cooperating with federal authorities.
Well, some outlets are reporting that the suspect lived with a transgender partner. Is that accurate? And are investigators looking at this part of his life as a possible motivation?
Yes, definitely. And yes, I can confirm that. I know that has been reported and that the FBI has confirmed that as well, that the roommate was a romantic partner, a male transitioning to female. I can say that he has been very cooperative. This partner has been incredibly cooperative, had no idea that this was happening, and is working with investigators right now.
But then the interviewer asked the question that divided America.
And how is that relevant to the investigation when it comes to the motive? Are you learning that? Sure.
Well, yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out right now. Again, it's easy to draw conclusions from that, and so we've got the shell casings, other forensic evidence that is coming in, and trying to piece all of those things together.
You said that the roommate is being very helpful. Has that individual explained to law enforcement what the mindset of the shooter was and whether or not it is connected to his ideology or his situation as transitioning, as you just described?
I'm not sure about that piece right now, Dana.
Okay, so we're not sure if the fact that he was romantically involved, as you say, with his partner who was transitioning is relevant to the motive of the murder based on the investigation.
Sure.
And if you think that's controversial, wait until you hear what the neighbor witnessed just 2 weeks before the shooting.
There's a narrative going around that Tyler Robinson has a trans partner. Now, I searched on this, and there's not one reliable news source that is reporting this. The only thing I saw made them make this a headline is that they spoke with the grandmother and they asked her if this, I think his name is Lance Twigs, if this person is trans. And she said she didn't want to say because she didn't know, but he could.
This is the part of the story that will absolutely shock you. And honestly, when I first heard this testimony, it gave me chills. A neighbor of Tyler Robinson has come forward with evidence that completely changes our understanding of this relationship. According to exclusive footage that surfaced on TikTok, this neighbor witnessed Tyler Robinson kissing his trans partner just 2 weeks before the assassination happened.
Yeah, he was walking with him.
Were they holding hands?
Yeah, they were. So, yeah, they drove off in his car, the Dodge Challenger.
The time you saw them or this week?
It was about the time I saw them. So
okay, how long ago was that?
I would say about 2 weeks ago.
And so they looked like they were a couple?
Yeah.
And he was dressed all in black?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And you thought he was weird?
Yeah, I definitely, yeah.
What was weird about him?
Just the way he walked and just the way I've seen him, I've never seen really anybody dressed all in black with a mask on, and I thought that was just quite weird. I would have tried to stop him if I knew it was him, like before. I definitely do not like the fact that he was living close to me.
Think about the timing here. This wasn't some casual roommate situation. This was an intimate relationship between the shooter and the person who would later turn him into authorities. But here's what really gets me thinking. If Lance Twigs cared enough about Robinson to be in a romantic relationship with him, why was he so willing to cooperate with the FBI? Was this a case of someone choosing justice over love, or were there deeper motives we don't understand yet?
Accused of Charlie Kirk could end up in a hellhole prison if found guilty. Tyler Robinson risks being locked up in Utah State Correctional Facility in Salt Lake City, the state's death row prison that, only 3 years after it opened, has dealt with a scabies outbreak, drug issues, and understaffing problems.
Guys, this case shows us just how complicated these situations really are. And honestly, the more I dig into this story, the more questions I have. While Tyler Robinson definitely pulled that trigger and murdered Charlie Kirk in cold blood, we're looking at a web of influence that includes his transgender partner, online gaming communities, political radicalization, and family dynamics that nobody saw coming. What we know for certain is that Lance Twigs cooperated with federal authorities and helped solve this case quickly. But the question that's dividing America is whether that cooperation came from genuine justice seeking or from deeper motives we haven't uncovered yet. And as for Charlie's wife, she has taken a vow to keep his movement alive with more force. Honestly, I got goosebumps listening to her.
You should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow.
The truth is messier than any single narrative wants to admit, and both sides are using this transgender angle to push their own political agendas. But at the end of the day, a conservative father was murdered for speaking his beliefs, and we deserve to know the full truth about who influenced that assassination.